Day 3 in the books. Some big moves made today. Let's talk about it. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, like I said, day 3 in the books. Now, today I'm just going to be talking about what happened today in rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm not going to give a full breakdown and a full grade on essentially the draft. I'm just going to talk about today, and then in my next video, I'm going to give a full breakdown of the draft, my full draft grade, what I think of the Miami Dolphins, what they did throughout all 7 rounds. I might have a special guest on with that episode. Haven't put those things together yet, but just to give you a little update on that. Also, real quick, before we jump into everything that happened today, real quick shout out to my new Patreon, Michael Uria. I hope I said your last name properly, with the $20 Patreon. He's another one of my MVPs. I'm going to try and incorporate my MVPs into the channel some more. I got a lot planned for the future of this channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. A lot of you guys, we broke 11,000 subscribers. A lot of you guys have been hitting that subscribe button. So welcome to the new subscribers, and let's jump into what happened today. So they actually listened to the fans, but I don't think they really did. And they traded up in the beginning of the 4th round. They traded their 2 4th-round picks, the one they got from the Packers and the other one they got in the comp pick, and they moved up to pick number 5. Essentially, it'd probably be about the pick that they already had, a 111 overall, and they took guard Solomon Kindeli, I think that's how you say his name, from Georgia, Solomon. And it's funny that his name's Solomon. It's funny that I'm a huge Batman fan, because he reminds a lot of people of Solomon Grundy. If you don't know who Solomon Grundy is, he's a man that can't be killed, and he's huge and powerful. And that is what I'm hearing and seeing a lot of with Solomon Kindeli. He is huge, big, physical, run-producing guard. Will run you over, big, powerful, moves people, does very, very, very well in the run blocking aspect. Now, when it comes to the pass blocking aspect, that's where it gets a little suspect. That's where you're like, he needs a little help there. Again, this is a 4th-round pick, but the Dolphins did jump up to get him. It's another situation where you look at what the Dolphins have done throughout the draft. They're getting a lot of versatility, and they're like getting a lot of big physical dudes, especially in the trenches. They want those big physical, going to move you off of your feet in the trenches on both sides of the ball. I like this move a lot. Especially, they felt very strong about it. They moved up. I like this move a lot. I'm going to give this one a B. Like this move a lot. Then what the Miami Dolphins did, they had back-to-back 5ths. So they kind of just traded their 2 4s up to get a guard, sat back, waited for their back-to-back 5ths, essentially 153, which is 8, and 154, which is 9. So a lot of people were upset that the Miami Dolphins did not take a running back in this draft. A lot of people were upset that, J.K. Dobbins went the pick before they had in the 2nd round, where they took Raekwon Davis. I was one of them too. That was like, if you wanted him, and if the stuff coming out was true that you wanted J.K. Dobbins, you could have very easily jumped one spot in front of the Ravens. But the Dolphins answered those questions, and the Dolphins said, hey, check this out. And they traded pick number 153, the 8th pick in the 5th round, to the San Francisco 49ers for running back Matt Breida. They got their 2nd running back, Matt Breida. Like this guy, he had a 5.1 yards per carry last year. Yes, he didn't have a ton of carries. Yes, he didn't have a ton of chances with the 49ers, but I do like what I've seen from him. I do like this guy. Unrestricted free agent. He's going to cost the Dolphins about $3.25 million this year. Then he'll be a free agent in 2020. It's another scenario where the Miami Dolphins bring someone in. They have 1 year to prove it, and if they prove it, they get their money. Think of Eric Rowe. Think of when they brought Devontae Parker back. Think of these types of players. That's what they do with the Matt Breida, and it only cost them a 5th-round pick. Love this move. I'm going to consider this move part of their draft, and I'm giving this one an A. I like this move, especially because he already has some NFL experience, and I like what I've seen from him on tape. Love the move. Love the trade. Fun fact as well, a lot of people were talking about, hey, should the Dolphins go for Fournette? Hey, what are they doing there? There was talks that the Dolphins were talking to the Jacksonville Jaguars about getting Fournette. Couldn't have anything happen there. There was also talks back before they got Howard that they wanted to get Todd Gurley. That never, came to be. And they get Matt Breida here. Like the 1-2 punch with Breida and Howard. Very, very good move there. Like I said, I give that one an A. Then with their very next pick, they take Jason Strawbridge, defensive end / defensive tackle from North Carolina. If you guys remember in my video that came out late last night, and if you saw it this morning, I had a list of names, which I have over here, of people that I would like the Dolphins to potentially go after. And the second one the last one I said was Jason Strawbridge, and the Miami Dolphins said, "Hey, Doug, we watch your channel, so why don't we take that pick for you?" So they take him in the 5th round, like I said, 9th pick, 154 overall. Big guy. He's a big run defensive guy. He's going to help stop the run. He can play DN, tackle. Very big physical guy. Not that great on getting after the quarterback in pass pro, but he's very, very big physical guy at getting in the run defense. I'm happy with this pick. I give this one a B+. Very happy with this pick, especially where they got it in the 5th round. Then they did another trade because there was another player they liked. And again, I really think that they were listening to me in my last video. They traded 173, which was the 28th overall in the 5th round, and 227, which was the 13th overall in the 7th round, to move back up to 164, which is the 19th. So they went from 28th, they jumped up to about 9 picks in the 5th round to grab Curtis Weaver, defensive end from Boise State, another guy I named in my last video that I would like the Dolphins to jump up. Defensive end Curtis Weaver. He's a good rusher. He's quick. That quick movement, get after you. They compared him to Derek Barnett, who is, if you guys noticed, I talk about him a lot, about the Dolphins. I wanted Dolphins to take him, but they took Charles Harris instead. He was ranked way higher. A lot of people were completely surprised the Dolphins could get him in the 5th round, but he's a very linear pass rusher. He's a very linear defensive lineman. He needs to work on his movements, his hip movements, getting around the edge, and all of his pass rushing movements. But the speed, the size, everything is there. Just needs a little bit of teaching. I love this move. I'm giving this one an A. I'm glad they got him, and I'm glad that they liked their guy. They wanted their guy, and they traded up for him. That's what I like the most here. 2 players that they liked, they made their move for. And you can tell that a lot of these players, a lot of people are like, who are they? What are they doing? I hate this. They suck at the draft, this, and that. They're their players. They're who they want. They get who they want. And they're filling the needs that they think they need. And I like this one. Another A on this one. Then in the 6th round, they go after a long snapper. Blake Ferguson, long snapper from LSU. First long snapper taken this early in the modern draft era. It's not much to say about him. He's a long snapper. They took it in the 6th round. It's more, the 6th, 7th round, they're more camp bodies. They're more, practice squad players. And they took a long snapper. Yes, there probably was more people on the board, but I don't hate this pick. Give it a B-. It's a long snapper. It's nothing too sexy, but they took a long snapper here. And then with the 7th pick, they go after a Taysom Hill type player in Malcolm Perry, wide receiver / running back / running back. What was that? Running back / quarterback out of Navy. They go after this guy. Now, again, 7th round, you're looking, this is where you tend to go after players that you don't want to have to compete to get in the undrafted aspect of it. But the Dolphins go after Malcolm Perry. Like the pick. Again, he's a very versatile guy. If you guys are noticing what the Dolphins are doing, like I said, with this whole entire draft, they want that versatility. They want you to be able to play multiple positions on the D-line, multiple positions on the offensive line, multiple positions in the secondary. You can do that. You're smart. You're a physical guy. You have the everything that I say. You can't teach the big, physical, fast people. They're going to draft you. They're going to have you come in, teach you techniques, and you're just going to be a star with this team. And then they had one more pick. They had number 251. A few more picks before the end. It was a comp pick. They traded it to Seattle. As of right now, I don't know what they got in that trade for Seattle. It was probably... it's a 6th round pick in 2021. So they traded the 7th round pick 251 for a 6th round pick next year. So the Dolphins now have even more picks next year. 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 6s. So then that ends the Dolphins draft. In a nutshell, I like the trade. I'll give the trade an A because we got a higher pick next year. now what happens after the draft is done is they go after undrafted free agents. They start signing. Think of, Albert Wilson was an undrafted free agent, Preston Williams, undrafted free agent. There's a lot of really good gems you can find undrafted free agent. I think Victor Cruz was an undrafted free agent. I will talk about that in my next video, which will probably come out tomorrow when the whole full list of undrafted free agents come out. I'm not going to talk about that today. Today was more about what happened today in the draft. So like I said, in a whole, today was good. I think the first day and today were probably their best days in the draft. That second day was kind of iffy on some of their moves and not being as aggressive as I wanted them to. Not saying I didn't like it. Again, not saying I didn't like the moves. I liked the players they took. But I would say the first and today were probably their best days. Like I said, Solomon, Gindel, guard, Georgia. They trade for Matt Breida, running back from the 49ers. They get Jason Strawbridge, defensive end from North Carolina. They get Curtis Weaver, defensive end from Boise State. Two guys that I named in last video. Super excited they got them. Blake Ferguson, long snapper, and Malcolm Perry, the Swiss Army knife of the offense, Taysom Hill type player. I'm going to give today a solid A. I like today's moves. I liked what they did. I like who they got in the later rounds. Some of these players could have probably went sooner, but I like this move. Be sure to comment below. What did you guys think of the last day of the draft's moves? Like I said, I'm going to be talking about the undrafted players in my next video. Will probably come out tomorrow. And then I'm going to give you my full draft grade of the entire Miami Dolphins draft. I might have a special guest. I'm trying to get things solidified with that. But that will come out probably either tomorrow or Monday. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of this draft. Now, for comment of the day, I'm just going to talk real quick about the team, and I'm going to talk about what this team did. They took Tua Tagovailoa, right? And a lot of people were saying, you're going to need, Tua's going to get killed behind this offensive line. Tua's going to get killed behind. So what they did is they took their quarterback of the future, and then they built the trenches up. Everyone was talking about, don't take Tua, we need to build the trenches. Don't take Tua, we need to build the trenches. Well, they did both. They took Tua and they built the trenches with a ton of offensive linemen and a ton of defensive linemen. And if you look at the characteristic of all of these players that they took, especially on the trenches, big, physical, strong guys. Love the move that the Dolphins are doing. I'm not going to spoil my draft grade video, but I'm liking it. I'm liking the move. I'll go in more depth of my thought process on day 2 versus day 1 versus day 3, but I honestly think day 1 and 3 were their best days. Today they got a lot of value late. Really like it. My favorite picks were, Jason Strawbridge and Curtis Weaver, and I'm really happy they traded for Matt Breida. Those are probably the 3 best moves from today, and then you get great value late with Malcolm Perry. I like today. So like I said, be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of today. I have 2 videos already planned. I'm going to talk about the undrafted players that the Dolphins get, and then I'm also going to give you my grade. That'll be in one specific video, my next video, which is the entire grade and talking about the undrafted players. But like usual, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Had a great conversation with a bunch of you guys on Twitter. So, be sure to go follow me on Twitter, check me out on Instagram. Also, check me out on my 2 other channels. My second channel, DouglieDoWrong Studios, which I'm going to start posting more now that the draft's over and I can breathe and do that other stuff. And BitBoys gaming channel that I'm a part of. Be sure to go over, check it out. Other than that, give this video a thumbs up. The draft is over. We're done with mock drafts. We're done with all that stuff. It's now time to start to build this thing up. Get the undrafted players, start to give people their playbooks, start to have they're going to have to work out on their own, but start to build. This is where we start to build, start to see everything start to come together. Now it's a lot of sitting back, hoping and praying that things get better. But be sure to give this video a thumbs up because the draft is over and we made it, boys. We made it. Also, check out DolphinsTalk.com. Great site I'm associated with. Great Dolphin content over there. Be sure to go over it, check that out. Other than that, hit that subscribe button. I got a lot planned. Next Saturday, the 2nd of May, I'm going live 1 p.m. like I do every other Saturday. We could talk draft. We could talk whatever you want. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when I'm live next Saturday, May 2nd, 1 p.m. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.